everybody, this is Fan here, and this is race number 6 in season number 1 of the Dodge Throwback Series. We are here at the Dover International Speedway for the Mason-Dixon 300. It is a 45-lap race around this 1-mile speedway in Dover, Delaware, and this is the first time we have come to Dover, any form of Dover, since I do believe August of 2015. It has been a very long time since we've been here in any race on Fan, but we're back here for a race here in the Dodge Throwback Series. And if you were wondering where the last man qualifying session was yesterday on my second channel, we don't need it. Turns out there is a way we can go into the settings of this racetrack so that 43 drivers can start the race, and that means that we have ourselves a full field here for the Dodge Throwback Series race here at Dover, so there was no need to have the last man qualifying session. All 40 drivers who race in the series full-time are racing here today. Anyways, coming into this race, Annie Thomas continues to lead in the points standings. She has 170 points. Our last winner here in the Dodge Throwback Series was Elijah Gordon back on Wednesday at the Lowe's Motor Speedway. He has 27 points off the points lead. TJ Starr and Blaze McKinney are both tied for the third position, 33 points behind, and Paul Minnick is 36 points behind in 5th position. Let's go ahead and get these guys to roll off here for race number 6 at Dover. It's the Monster Mile, and Kian Rowley in the number 10 will get his first career pole. I don't really keep track of the poles or anything, but I do know this is the first time this driver has started on the pole. He is going to start alongside Emmanuel Hartnett in the number 40. Row number 2, we have the 00 of Richard Kinghart, starting alongside the 02 of Josh Crash, who missed last week's race at Richmond. We have ourselves Caleb Hoffman in the number 17, starting alongside the 7 of Chris Skinlart. In row number 4, it is the 21 of Jonathan King, starting alongside Christian Master. Row number 5, we got ourselves the number 22 of Julio Caesar and Isaac Nichols. We're going to go ahead and reset the field so that Derek Petrie in the number 24 can officially start the race. We are back here at the Dover International Speedway, and all 40 drivers will be starting here today in the Mason-Dixon 300. An interesting thing is, for guys back in here, we might have to have some guys share pit stalls, and when the pit stops occur here at Dover, it could get very interesting for guys like Elijah Gordon or here Joe Irvin Alonso. But that is back in the field, and that's kind of part of the bad thing about starting back in there. But if you start up front, you should not have any problems on pit road today. Anyways, the pace car is pulled off. It's been a long time since we've raced here at Dover, but we're finally back. We're racing at the Monster Mile. Kian Rowley with the advantage on Emmanuel Hartnett. Hartnett slips up and falls back. Richard Kinghart in the 00 takes second away from the 40, and it looks like Josh Crash is going to take third away from the 40 as well. Kinghart is right on the back bumper of Kian Rowley, but it's going to be the number 10 of Kian Rowley who's going to lead lap number 1 here at Dover. Richard Kinghart right behind this number 10 machine, and he might be able to get the run exiting turn number 2. Not going to be able to do it quite yet. We have already spread out quite a bit here in the top 5. You see quite a bit of space in between second place Richard Kinghart and third place Josh Crash, and a lot of space in between Josh Crash and fourth place now Emmanuel Hartnett in the number 40 to the inside of Jonathan King for that position. Richard Kinghart has gotten around the number 10 of Kian Rowley for the lead, and it is the 00 leading the field here at Dover. The 02 of Josh Crash is pulled up to the back bumper of Kian Rowley. A lot of these guys up front haven't really had too much experience on Fan, except for this guy. Caleb Hoffman is the second all-time winningest driver here on this channel. He currently runs in the 5th position, but a lot of the guys running up front don't really have many wins. As a matter of fact, I believe that Kinghart only has 1 win. Josh Crash, I believe, only has 3 wins, and the rest of the top 5, with the exception of Caleb Hoffman, of course, that being Kian Rowley and Emmanuel Hartnett, have never won before on this channel. A lot of these guys trying to get one of their first few wins here on this channel here today at Dover, and they all got a good shot at doing so, running in the top 5 in this race at the moment. Josh Crash trying to get a run on the inside there of Kean Rally. Rally is right back up to the 00 of Richard Kinghart, and the number 10 might be able to get a run around him. But you got the 02 to deal with as well if you're Kean Rally, and that might play into if you can get around that 00. Josh Crash might try to get to the inside of the 10, but I do believe Kean Rally is going to be able to pull away from the 02 enough to get a run on Richard Kinghart and take the lead back. If he can get to the inside of him, it's not going to happen, and the 00 is going to remain out front. Kinghart pulling away a little bit from the number 10 of Kean Rally at the moment. It's Caleb Hoffman running in 5th position. Jonathan King, Dane Cooper, Derek Petrie, Jay Jefferson, and Jake West. And of those 4 guys right there at the end of the top 10, Jay Jefferson is the only guy to have officially won a race on this channel, and it came in the Hers Dash Series at Darlington. Matt Tuck in the number 20, looking to take 10th away from the 31 now. Not going to happen as the 31 clears him. Trying to find Annie Thomas here in the field. She is our points leader. She has fallen all the way back to, I do believe, 28th position. And Elijah Gordon, who started in next to last place, right alongside Alonso in that final row, they've moved their way through the field quite significantly. And that's good news for Elijah Gordon, who comes into this race second in the point standings. He is currently ahead of the points leader, Annie Thomas, at the moment. But Thomas might get a run to the inside of the 5 here and surpass the guy who's second in the points. Anyways, back up front, it does appear that Richard Kinghart is still the points leader here at Dover. Points leader, what am I saying? Still the leader here at Dover in the 00. He is starting to pull away a little bit from Kean Rally in the 10. Josh Crash in the 02. He is going to find a way to the inside of Kean Rally and take second. Emmanuel Hartnett right behind the 02 in the number 40 machine. He started on the outside pole and instantly fell back, but he has found his rhythm, and the only Dodge in the field in the Dodge Throwback Series is going to move up to 3rd place here at Dover, getting around the 10 of Kean Rally. Caleb Hoffman closing up to the number 10, but Rally is going to block the 17 for the moment and remain in 4th position. And Richard Kinghart is driving away from all these guys as they battled for 2nd place there for a while. See if Josh Crash can close up to the 00 and take the lead away from him before the cycle of pit stops begin. It's going to be a 1-stop race here at Dover, and it'll probably come pretty late in the race as well. So we're still going to have quite a while before these guys come down the pit lane for their one and only pit stops of the race. But the very interesting thing is here, and I'm not entirely sure how this is all going to work out. As I was reading it, it said that I believe 42nd place and 39th place shared pit stalls, and I believe, I'm pretty sure, I forget how it went, to be honest with you. But I do know that 2 guys in this field, and they're definitely in the back, they definitely started in the back, are sharing pit stalls in this race. My assumption would be that it is Elijah Gordon and Hergel Arvin Alonso who will be sharing pit stalls in this race. Emmanuel Hartnett is falling behind yet again. Jonathan King has gotten around him for 4th position, and Dane Cooper's going to move his way into the top 5, getting around the number 40. Jake West in the 26 is going to get to the inside of the 40 as well. Derek Petrie also taking advantage of the 40, getting stuck on the outside, and it's obvious, especially as a run comes down to the wire, when these tires are getting worn out. That's what I mean. What I meant to say. I just don't know. I just don't really know anymore, guys. I just don't know. But anyways, as the tires wear out, as the run goes along, it gets very hard to get any grip on the outside lane. And Emmanuel Hartnett falling all the way back to 9th because he got stuck up there. That's Blake Dillon, who I do believe is now in the top 10, as Garrett Zenor majorly slipped up in the number 1 machine. He is 3 wide on the outside, falling way back. And it is visually obvious that these guys are going slower than they did at the beginning of this green flag run here at Dover. I thought we would end up with a caution in this race. I tested here and we had cautions pretty quickly. but we have not gotten one yet in this race, and the last time we had a caution was at the end of last week's race at Richmond. We did not have a caution in the World 500 at the Lowe's Motor Speedway on Thursday, and or on Wednesday, I should say, and so far this race has gone caution-free here at Dover. Josh Crash looking to close into the 0-0 of Richard Kinghart, but 0-0 is able to pull away a little bit from the 0-2 that last lap. So tires are pretty worn on these race cars. It's getting harder to pass here at the Dover International Raceway. And that means it's going to be hard to catch up to this 0-0 of Richard Kinghart for the moment. It's looking good for the 0-0 right now. We'll see if he can pull away and get the victory in today's race. Caleb Hoffman running in 4th position. Jonathan King rounds out the top 5. Then it's Dane Cooper, Jake West, the 24 of Derek Petrie, the 40 of Emmanuel Hartnett, and the 28 of Blake Dillon. Still the top 10. Garrett Tenor fell back to 15th position in the number 1 as he got stuck on the outside. And it looks like the number 2 of Cody Smart is going to find his way to the inside of Jay Jefferson. Does appear, I believe that is for 12th position on the racetrack, but Cody Smart having some trouble there on the inside lane, trying to get around him. Matt Tuck sliding up the racetrack a little bit, and he is going to lose a position to the number 1 of Garrett Tenor. Marty Johnson almost got into the number 20. Josh Crash has closed up to Richard Kinghart. It is now 0.2 of a second for the lead for the 0-2 of Josh Crash. He missed last week's race at Richmond, and somebody would have missed this race hadn't I not found out about the fix to have 40 cars on the racetrack. Now, we still have not had our pit stops yet in this race, and all 40 cars are still out there on the racetrack. But still, it seems to have worked out pretty well so far here at the Dover International Speedway. And it's going to get interesting here as the leaders have come down the pit lane, Richard Kinghart and Josh Crash. And so as they come down the pit lane, we're going to have to take a little bit of a break. So hold on just 1 second. We are back. Apologize. We are back. Apologize for all that there. I'm not sure why I didn't go back to recording. But anyways, the leaders have come down the pit lane. I do believe Chris Skinlart there came in the lap before. But we are going to follow here with the 0-0 and the 0-2. They were battling for the lead before this cycle of pit stops began. And the 0-0 is going to get off before the 0-2, but Josh Crash is not going to be too far behind. Jonathan King also going to be pretty close to these guys as well. The number 10 of Kian Rowley stayed out to try to locate him. And there he is at the end of the pit lane. He is in that pit stall because he started on the pole position for this race. And you see quite a few guys getting around him, but I do believe a majority of the field came down when the leaders came down the pit lane. And there you see the 0-0 of Richard Kinghart. But I do not quite know if he is going to be the leader or not. I believe he will. And he will be the leader, and he is pulling away. I might have just lapped Aiden Shepard there in the 77. And now you can see how fast these guys are going now that they have fresher tires. 0-0 of Richard Kinghart looking to get the first win, his first win of the year. There's a 1.5 second lead on Josh Crash here on lap 26 of 45. I do believe it is 20 laps to go here at Dover, and that should be the only cycle of pit stops in today's race. Now, it is still very possible that a caution could come out in this one. You see Paul Minnick there hitting the apron and almost getting into Emmanuel Hartnett, and there might be our caution. Caleb Hoffman in the 17 with an issue, and the yellow lights are blinking here at Dover. And that's a tough one for Richard Kinghart. He had a 1.6 second lead when the caution came out. That is going to be erased with this yellow flag. But anyways, Josh Crash, Jonathan King, they're both going to have great opportunities to catch up to the leader, Richard Kinghart. Well, I mean, they're going to catch up right here, but they're going to both have great opportunities to pass him here on this restart. This is going to get very interesting. We're going to see if these guys come down the pit lane. If they don't, we will then review to see what happened to bring out the first caution here in the Mason-Dixon 500. Everybody is staying out, so we're going to go ahead and review the crash that happened here at Dover. And there is no need to go slow-mo for this one because it is simply the number 17 of Caleb Hoffman, who was having a very good run going for him in this race. Blowing up, entering turn number 2. He went down to the apron. However, the apron's kind of small there down the backstretch, and he had to move up on the racing surface, and he completely stopped, which triggered the caution light. So that's going to bunch up the field here late in the going in the Mason-Dixon 300. I have to see how it all shakes out here at the Dover International Speedway. Richard Kinghart is still the leader in the 00. Let's see what he does on the restart here at Dover. We are back here at the Dover International Speedway for the Mason-Dixon 300 race 6 of the Dodge Throwback Series. And Richard Kinghart, he had a 1.5 second lead before the caution came out. He's now going to have the guy he was battling with him for the lead, Josh Crash, right behind him. Jonathan King, how about Blake Dillon into the top 5, and pole sitter Kian Riley rounding out the top 5 here for the restart. This is going to be a very interesting one because the two guys on the inside, Aiden Shepard and Tristan Allen, they don't have any problems with their race cars, so they're going to be going just as fast as the leaders. Kinghart is going to get stuck on the outside here on the restart. Jonathan King is the first guy to go to the inside. Crash is going to stay up high. However, Kinghart is pulling away from second place. But will he be able to hold the lead? No, he won't. The 02 goes to the inside of him. Will Josh Crash take the lead? Yes, he will. And the 02 of Josh Crash is out front here at the Dover International Speedway with the 2 lap-down cars in front of him. So if he can put those two guys in between him and second-place Richard Kinghart, it's going to look really good for that 02. Kinghart is going to fall another position as Jonathan King gets around him for second. Kian Riley and Blake Dillon taking 5th away. Actually, that's the 9 of Zachary Fitzwater taking 5th away. Kinghart is just fallen back in the 00. The tough one for the 00 who came to the restart leading the field. He is falling back outside the top 5 now. Kian Riley is up the 3rd. How about Cody Smart? Oh, actually, you know what? I believe he's a lap down. I think, or no way, he is not a lap down. My apologies, he is running in 4th place right now. And the 88 of Marty Johnson is currently running in 5th position. Anyways, to the lead. Jonathan King is right behind the 02 of Josh Crash. As far as I know, I do not believe Jonathan King has ever won a race on Napa Fan before. So he is going for his first ever win. Same for Kian Riley, who is going to get a run to the inside of Jonathan King for second place as Josh Crash pulls away a little bit. If they continue to run side by side, that 02 is going to pull away, and I don't believe anybody else will be able to get to him in time. The 10 is going to clear the 21, exiting turn 4. And Kian Riley, who started on the pole for this race, still has a shot at getting the win here in the Mason-Dixon 300. As for Tristan Allen, he has pulled away from the leader, Josh Crash. So he will most likely not be a factor in this race. But Kian Riley up to second place, trying to close in on Josh Crash for the lead. Will he have enough time to do so here at Dover? If another caution comes out, that number 10 will get the chance. Richard Kinghart has fallen to 10th position. I believe he's taking 9th away from the 11 of Ryan Madden. That is a tough one for Richard Kinghart in the 00. He was going to win this thing if the caution did not come out. But unfortunately, he's going to not win this race. It's very unlikely that he is going to move his way through the field in time to catch up to Josh Crash. Kian Riley is closing into the 02, only 0.3 of a second now. It was 0.5 just a while ago. It's a couple of laps ago, and now this number 10 is closing in the Josh Crash very quickly. Number 21 of Jonathan King, under fire from Cody Smart in the number 2. Marty Johnson running in 5th place, waiting to strike if anything happens to these guys. Kian Riley is right to the back bumper of the 02. but will he be able to get around them before the race is over? It's going to be 5 laps to go, this time by for Josh Crash in the 0-2. Jonathan King pulling away a little bit from Cody Smart. He might still have a shot at winning this thing as well. But Josh Crash, he pulled away a little bit from Kian Raleigh that last time, but Raleigh is going to look to get back to the 0-2. And he is going to do so. A little bit lower line there for the 10. He is going to close up to Josh Crash again. Will he be able to get around him? That is the big question here. Only a 1/10 of a second that last time. Josh Crash is up the racetrack a little bit, and Kian Raleigh could not get the run on the inside. And Josh Crash continues to lead here at Dover. As these guys battle for the lead, Jonathan King is slowly closing in. But I don't know if that 21's going to have enough time. Raleigh trying on the outside now to get a run. He might actually get a run on the 0-2. But in the process, he's going to lose a lot of ground. And that might have just sealed the race for the 0-2 of Josh Crash. You can see what Raleigh's doing. The inside lane was not working for him, and he was trying to get the outside lane to work. But he continues to fall back off the 0-2, running that higher line. That was not a good decision by Kian Raleigh. It's 2 laps to go here in the Mason-Dixon 300 at the Dover International Speedway. And I believe this 0-2 is going to come home with the victory. It's going to be the white flag for Josh Crash here at Dover. One more time around in the Mason-Dixon 300. And I believe Kian Raleigh is too far behind to get to this 0-2 in 1 lap. Jonathan King might take second if the 10 keeps on slipping up. But right now, the 0-2 of Josh Crash is going to round turn number 4 and take the victory here at Dover. Josh Crash wins the Mason-Dixon 300 in the Dodge Throwback Series. Kian Raleigh came close. He could not get it done. Jonathan King, a nice 3rd place finish for him. And how about veteran drivers Cody Smart and Marty Johnson rounding out the top 5 in this one? Of course, Josh Crash is also a veteran driver. Been racing quite a while here on Napa Fan. And I believe that is his 4th career victory on this channel. Congratulations to Josh Crash for getting it done here at Dover. But there are the official standings right there. Chris Skinlart, Zachary Fitzwater, Richard Kinghart, who led at the restart, fell back to 8th. Dane Cooper and Jay Jefferson, the top 10 for this one here at the Monster Mile. And Caleb Hoffman would end up being the only driver failing to finish as he had a piston issue to bring out the one and only caution in today's race. And if it were not for that caution, we would be talking about Richard Kinghart in victory lane. But unfortunately for the 0-0, that did not happen. And he's going to get an 8th place finish here today. But anyways, congratulations to Josh Crash for getting the victory here at Dover 1 week after he failed to qualify for Richmond. And that'll be 44 points towards the championship for that 0-2 team. Anyway, speaking of points, Andy Thomas finished 28th in this race as Elijah Gordon finished 22nd. Thomas should still be the points leader, but it will not be as much of a it will not be as much of a difference as it was coming into this race. So Thomas is going to have a smaller points lead heading into the next race, which I do want to say is Pocono. But I'm not 100% sure. I'm going to have to look at the schedule. But anyways, thank you guys very much for watching. Congratulations to Josh Crash for getting the victory here today at Dover. And here are the points for the Dodge Throwback Series. I will see you guys later. Bass, kick up the bass, and the treble, cause faith, that's a rebel. Kick up the bass, kick up the bass, in the treble, cause faith, that's a rebel. I blaze a trail like the race from